All right, welcome back. Well, Hanukkah starts tomorrow evening when the sun goes down, and the 8-day celebration is going to run through December 15th. To celebrate, there will be a menorah lighting tomorrow at Birkdale Village in Huntersville. And Kaya Greenberg is the director of Chabad Lake Norman, and she's joining us this morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for being here. As always, when we are talking about traditions, you know, it's always good to go back to the heart of it. So why we celebrate Hanukkah?
Well, to put it short, Hanukkah was a time where the Jews were ruled by the Syrian Greek Empire, and they didn't want them to practice their Judaism. And a small group of Jews called the Maccabees fought back, and they won. And then they wanted to light the menorah, and the Greeks had destroyed all the oil, and they could only find one jug of oil that lasted for 8 days, and that is why we celebrate.
And that's why you light the candle for 8 days.
Yes.
Of the days, correct. Let's talk a little bit about some of the traditions. You hear all kinds of traditions, including lighting the menorah. We talk about spinning the dreidel. And then when it comes to food, latkes. Why are latkes part of the tradition?
Because we try to eat foods that are fried in oil. Another traditional Hanukkah food is donuts, which is also fried in oil. So that's why we have it fried. We have a bunch of foods fried in oil.
And is there a specific way to do it? Or do you have, is there any way that you'd have to do it to follow any particular guidelines?
No, as long as it tastes good.
Which is the key, right? We love that. Do you want to show me how to go ahead and do it?
Yes, so I brought the prepared onions and potatoes because I didn't want to sit and shred them now.
Okay.
And then what you do is I have my recipe here, and you add some salt.
Okay.
Because you need it to taste good, as
You're
I said.
right.
And then I have my 2 eggs.
All right, and that's going right in there.
And then I have a 1/4 cup of flour, and if you want to make them gluten-free, which I usually do, you can. It's just not as thick. And you just mix it up.
Mm-hmm.
And let me make sure my fire's high enough.
And the griddle all nice and warm. And we were talking about this just a second ago, but you brought your own equipment, and that's important. Why is that?
Because we keep kosher, and kosher is a set of dietary laws that some Jews observe. And we don't mix milk and meat, and we have our own set of dishes. That's in the short version.
Yeah, so hey, it's part of why we're talking about it, and you're learning from it, right?
Yes.
So how long would you mix that up for?
Till the consistency is good. It's cooking, so it's not as much of a science as you would have with baking, and you just stick it in the frying pan. Some people stick a carrot in the oil so that it doesn't, and sometimes I do a drop to wait for the sizzle. The griddle works a little differently than my frying pan. And some people put a carrot in to stop the oil from going bad, and then you just flip it. So we'll wait for that.
We'll wait for it to go ahead and sizzle. Now, when you are thinking about latkes, do you wait until Hanukkah each year to have one, or do you have them throughout the year?
No, and to be honest, my family had them last night already, so we are definitely ahead of the game.
There's no shame in that, right? Just getting, especially when they're, like you said, made really good. Let's talk about some of the events that are happening, including one at Birkdale Village.
Yes.
Yeah.
So at Birkdale Village, we'll be lighting the first night. It's, I think, our 4th year lighting the menorah at Birkdale Village, and we have everyone comes together, and we have donuts, latkes, we have crafts for the kids, and it's just a great time to get together to celebrate Hanukkah.
So what time when does that all begin?
So it begins at 5:30.
Okay.
Some people do come a little early to make sure that they get their donuts and latkes, because sometimes it goes pretty fast, but at 5:30, and it probably lasts until 7. There'll be music and all types of stuff, and there's going to be a balloon twister and a face painter as well for the kids.
Starting to hear the sizzle there. You can see it go in a little bit. When you talk about wanting to get there so you don't miss the latkes or the donuts, how quickly do they go?
So I wasn't there last year because I gave birth to my baby the day before, so I wasn't able to be in attendance, but the person that helps us out was telling us, she's like, within the first 10 minutes they were gone, so we are going to be more prepared this year for some more.
Oh, wow. People were ready.
Yes, and we'll obviously also have some chocolate gelt there as well. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, very good, very good. What is your favorite part of Hanukkah?
I really love the family celebrations. It's really nice time to be together. As Jewish holidays go, it's a lot more about, there's a lot of fun stuff to do. There's nothing that I don't like about Hanukkah, so I'll put it that way.
No, that's good. And I noticed this, I want to make sure I asked about the unsweetened applesauce. How does that play in?
So it doesn't need to be unsweetened, but traditionally people like to eat their latkes with applesauce, but you can really top it with anything. You could top it with, people do guacamole, people do sour cream. It can really go with whatever you want, but applesauce is the most traditional there's no significance to applesauce, but it's the most traditional one.
So once they're finished, obviously, we'll let them fry on this side. You just flip them over, right?
You just flip them over until they're golden brown.
Okay, wonderful. So about how much longer do you think on this one? We need a thing to flip with?
Yeah, we need a thing to flip
All right,
with.
let me grab a thing to flip with over here for you. A spatula. I know, words are fun. Here you go. Here's a spatula.
Okay.
All right. There we go.
No, it's not ready yet.
We'll keep letting this cook here. And so, Kristen, we're going to work on these latkes, and then we're going to try them. We can try them with some of the applesauce,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
So I want to put the information for the event on your screen to learn more. Obviously, the menorah lighting at Birkdale Village is tomorrow at 5:30, and it's going to happen at the Grove. You can find out more at ChabadLakeNorman.com or on their Facebook page. We're working on these, Kristen, so I will send it back over to you.
It sounds great, and it's going to smell great in about 10 seconds.